Hi and welcome to Drummer's Review. I'm Matt and today we're going to be looking at the eMerge EM53HB E-Hybrid kit from Pearl. When the eMerge was first revealed to the world back in 2018, the team here at Drummer's Review were fortunate enough to be invited to the official unveiling. Since then, we've been looking forward to having the opportunity to put the kit under the Drummer's Review microscope. One exciting aspect of this kit, which immediately drew lots of attention at the launch, is that Pearl have partnered with Korg in several key aspects when designing the kit, including utilising Korg's much lauded wave trigger technology, as well as a selection of sounds from Korg's eDrums library. The kit features a 14-inch snare pad along with 10, 12 and 14-inch tom pads, with the tom pads featuring rim sensors alongside the main trigger, while the snare pad has two rim sensors, one for the rim shots, the other for cross sticks. The eMerge is available with a couple of different options when it comes to the bass drum. You can either opt for a standalone pad or an 18-inch bass drum which houses the pad inside the shell for a more acoustic look and feel, which is the option that we have here today. Cymbals wise, the kit features 14-inch dual zone hi-hats, a 15-inch dual zone crash and a triple zone 18-inch ride. The whole kit is housed on a sturdy three-sided Pearl rack with all the necessary clamps and mounts included, along with a snare stand, although you will need your own hi-hat stand and kick pedal to round out the set. The kit is powered by Pearl's new MDL1 module, which contains a host of features and sounds. Price-wise, the full kit is costing around £3,600 from most online retailers. Let's take a listen before we come back for some more thoughts. Unboxing the kit, the first thing to note is that it does take a little while to get everything set up. In particular, the bass drum comes pretty much flat packed and needs constructing from scratch, which is a much easier task if there are two people around to do it. The rack is quick and easy to assemble and once done holds everything in place completely solidly, reminding us slightly of a scaled down version of Pearl's much loved Icon rack. Once the kit is set, cabling the pads to the module is relatively quick and easy, thanks to each cable being clearly marked, although there was a slight confusion as the diagram for connecting up the hi-hat, which needed two cables, didn't correspond with the actual hi-hat system itself. A minor point, but one that may catch out drummers who are not experienced in the E-kit setup. Before switching on the module, sitting down to play the completed setup already offers a great experience. Pearl's new Pure Touch pads feel incredibly realistic and closer to an acoustic drum head than most of the heads we've experienced on electronic kits. Being slightly denser and feeling like they have a lot more weight behind them than mesh heads, you get a natural feeling rebound which you can tailor to your own individual taste by adjusting each head's tension in the same way that you would an acoustic drum. A special mention must go to the bass drum pad, which is possibly the best feeling and most realistic pad we've come across. So close in fact that if you close your eyes it's easy to convince yourself that you're playing an actual acoustic bass drum. The cymbal pads offer a nicely weighted realistic feel, and while nothing can really replicate playing an acoustic cymbal, these pads feel as close as any pad we've tried. Overall, the kit feels great to play, and having full-size pads that replicate a fusion-style kit setup along with an actual bass drum makes for a very rewarding playing and aesthetic experience. One final note on the pads is that they're not the quietest acoustically. They do produce a fair amount of stick noise when playing, with the bass drum having a very definite low tone, but Pearl thoughtfully supply a bass drum dampening pad to reduce this. Connection-wise, the pads are connected via a simple parallel style connector with a further 3/4-inch jack inputs for adding extra pads. Alongside this, there's also an auxiliary input, a USB-B and MIDI outputs for connecting to a computer or recording device, a USB-A port for importing or exporting audio and data via a thumb drive, 8 directly assignable outputs and 2 main outputs, as well as a headphone socket. Diving into the MD-L1 module, and it's actually a pretty simple affair. It's loaded with 35 pre-configured kits divided into subcategories including natural, modern, studio, vintage, electronic and world. There are a further 50 user patches for saving edited kits. The onboard sounds are all really decent, with the acoustic kits being full samples recorded by Pearl at a top studio in Nashville, while the electronic and percussion sounds are all from Korg's vast synth and E-kit sample library. Each is comprehensively customizable in terms of tuning and EQ, as well as the module containing a good selection of effects including compression and various useful sound crafting tools. A nice touch here is the ambience fader on the front of the module, which allows you to very quickly add more natural room mic reverb to any of the acoustic kit samples. This is further editable within the module so that you can set how much the fader alters the sound in terms of the size of the room and the mic placement. When you sit down to play, however, that things really start to get exciting. From the slightest ghost stroke to the fullest barrage of notes, the eMerge never misses a beat. With the lightning quick wave trigger technology coupled with the module's pair of fast multi-core processors and Pearl's in-depth sound samples to give a fantastic playing experience. For us, one of the most impressive aspects is how the triggers detect not only the velocity of your strokes, but also where on the head they're played that give an instant response. This means that the quietest closed rolls played at the edge of the pad are just as satisfying as playing faster single stroke rolls around the toms. A major plus point here was that while there was slight evidence of machine gun style sound produced as you move quickly around the pads on some of the preset kits, with just a little editing in terms of re-triggering time and sensitivity, this was soon eradicated to give a truly natural sound more like an acoustic kit. This impressive triggering also continues on the cymbal pads, where each note played is clear and articulate, and quite possibly some of the most natural sounding cymbal samples we've heard. Once calibrated, the hi-hat responds well to both closed and open playing, and with the calibration taking less than 60 seconds, meaning you get into your playing quickly and easily. The module hosts a useful and highly editable metronome, which can be set and stored to give quick access to any saved tempos. And while there are no pre-loaded tracks on the module, you can play and trigger songs via a USB thumb drive for you to play along or record to. Overall, we're highly impressed with this kit. The technology used is highly impressive and the sounds are more than functional, but it's the playability and natural response that really struck us. At £3,600, there's no doubt that this kit is an investment, but for serious players who are looking for an impressive sounding and more importantly, great feeling kit, we'd highly recommend checking out the eMerge. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, please leave us your thoughts and comments below. subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified of future content. And until then, we'll see you next time on Drummers Review.